tremors and arthritis. And for more insight, let's turn now to Professor Michael Moore. He's CEO of the Public Health Association of Australia and President-elect of the World Federation of Public Health Associations. He joins us now from Canberra. Thanks for being with us this morning. Now, as we've heard, the WHO has asked all countries to boost food safety. What are the most urgent measures?
Look, I think, Annalisa, one of the things that really needs to happen, focus number one, is on regulation. And hopefully, to make things even much faster, is cooperating with business to make sure that we have conditions that are appropriately clean in order to manufacture food. But with it goes, of course, broader issues of clean water, sanitation, and if you like, industry cooperation.
Well, as we've said, one of the hardest hit regions is Southeast Asia. What problems would it face, though, in trying to improve food safety? Well,
I think regulation with any government in the world at the moment is very, very difficult because industry is powerful, argues strongly against further regulation. But in reality, what we're seeing now is a very in-depth report from the World Health Organization pinpointing a finger at Southeast Asia and saying, actually, you do have to do something about it. So governments in the region are really going to have to look at their regulation, but they're also going to have to take an all-of-government approach. And that all-of-government approach will actually mean that they have to deal with the issues of clean water and sanitation, removal of rubbish, all that range of issues that has an impact on the manufacture of food.
Well, of course, you know, the governments of these countries themselves have to do things, but what about richer countries? What role can they play?
Look, already we've seen a movement from wealthier countries in terms of, for example, for Australia and Australian aid, moving towards trying to increase productivity in countries. And by doing that, what they're trying to do is improve trade relations. I think that they also have to expand that thinking to include productivity. Because when we have so many people who are getting ill from food, then of course productivity is reduced. And it's not that countries like Australia, America, Canada, United Kingdom, European countries haven't already been putting some money in this area, but I think what they have to do is really make sure they have an appropriate balance.
Now, you know, the WHO releases several such reports. This is their first, though, such report on foodborne diseases. How useful do you think it is, you know, based on how you see the state of world food consumption? Of course, we hear a lot about food waste.
Look, not only have we got the issue of food waste, but of course the greatest threat to, in non-communicable disease terms at the moment is actually obesity. And it certainly has been an issue for developed countries, but it's certainly an issue for emerging and developing countries now. So, and in fact, actually, it's obesity that is going to kill many, many more people than contamination of food. You can't just look at one thing and not another. You need to look at them all. And whilst we look at the issue of obesity and the quality of our food, foods that are nutrient poor and density rich, energy rich, those are the issues in those terms, but we also have to look at contamination, and that's why I think this report from the World Health Organization is so important.
And certainly the first step to awareness. Thank you so much for being with us this morning, Professor Michael Moore there from Canberra. Well,
okay, you're off air. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Ta-da.